Ordinarily, vinegar and vegetable oil don't mix with each other. If we mix them up, one just sits on top of the other. But if we add an agent called an emulsifier, we can get the two molecules to start liking each other. This is that romantic comedy idea that we were talking about, the idea that an emulsifier, like an egg, can act like a matchmaker that brings these two substances that don't like each other into contact so that they mix with each other. So what we're going to do here is make homemade mayonnaise. And I'm going to start with a small amount of vinegar. The less vinegar we use, the thicker a final sauce will get. So just a very little amount of vinegar in the bottom here. And then I'm going to add to that our emulsifying agent, which in this case is an egg yolk. So I'm breaking the egg over here, separating the white from the yolk. All we need to get those molecules together and mixing up is the yolk, which is the yellow part at the center of the egg here. So I'll go ahead and pop the egg yolk in there as well. Alrighty, and at this point, give my hands a little wash here. At this point, we can now add the vegetable oil over top of the egg and vinegar mixture. Before we mix things up, we can see that there's not a whole lot going on there in terms of mixing. The vegetable oil is still sitting right on top of the vinegar layer. However, if I provide a little mechanical energy here, you can see that adding the egg and mixing things up, now we have kind of a white colored mixture that looks a lot like mayonnaise. Thickening agents can be added to this to thicken it up. This is basically the principle behind creating mayonnaise. And while our homemade mayonnaise is a little thinner than what you find in the grocery store, it essentially contains the major components of what we actually find in mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is what's called an emulsion of vinegar in oil.